NBC6 News today at 6:30 starts with breaking news.
205, shots fired, and officers down.
Breaking news out of southwest Miami-Dade County. 2 officers injured in a shootout.
We have Team 6 coverage for you this morning. NBC6 reporter Julia Bagg live for us at the hospital where those officers were taken after being shot and are recovering this morning.
Yeah, but let's start with NBC6's Shanae Amar. She's live from the scene with what we're learning this morning. Shanae.
So since we last spoke, we've seen a little bit of movement in the area, just kind of a shift change here. We do see police tape up. The roadway still blocked off, but this is where it all went down. Now, we are kind of far from the scene here, so I'm going to step out of the way just so you can see a little closer glimpse of the bulk of the investigation. So this area is kind of a rural southwest Miami-Dade neighborhood here. You've got farms on one side of the roadway, and you have homes on the other side. But down the stretch of road, what began as a police investigation turned into a shootout, and this morning we're hearing what police dispatch heard too during and shortly after those shots went off.
205, shots fired, and officers down.
At this point, police have confirmed it happened around 11:30 last night along Southwest 162nd Avenue near 216th here in Southwest Miami-Dade. Now, Miami-Dade PD say officers in uniform responded to a home to conduct an investigation. They say as officers approached the front door of that home, they were confronted by a man armed with a shotgun. According to the police director, that man shot at officers, and she went on to say that 2 officers were injured, one of them shot in the arm, the other in the arm and face. But again, we do know those officers survived, and here's what the mayor had to say after learning about the shooting and, of course, rushing right over to the hospital.
We are so grateful that these officers involved in this unfortunate incident are alive, they're well, they're stable. They're doing what they do each and every day, keeping our community safe.
Now, we do know the officers did shoot back. Again, this was an exchange of gunfire between the subject and the officers. The gunman apparently died on scene. But back out here live, we're still not exactly clear what initially sparked that police investigation, that encounter, what police were investigating in this area. But we do know those 2 injured officers were taken to Jackson South along with a 3rd officer, a female officer who we're told was just taken to the hospital for evaluation. But at Jackson South is where we find my colleague NBC6's Julia Bagg live with more details about what we're learning about these officers and, of course, how they're doing this morning.
Yeah, and they are in stable condition. The police director saying they're in good spirits. And you just heard from the mayor, of course, just a very deep sense of thankfulness here this morning as people have been gathering outside the trauma center here at Jackson South. Thankfulness that this was not any worse. Take a look at the video, what things have been like overnight here with County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava joining the Miami-Dade Police Director and other top brass from the Miami-Dade Police Department. Officers from different agencies, too, gathering here outside Jackson South in support of the 2 Miami-Dade police officers who were shot. Let's talk about them. One is a 35-year-old officer who has been on the force for 7 years. He was struck in the arm. The other, a 57-year-old officer who was struck in the arm and the face. He's been on the force 15 years. Again, both of them in stable condition. Now, the 3rd officer who came here, a female officer who's 40 years old. She's been with the department just under a year. She came here for a medical evaluation. Take a listen to what the Miami-Dade Police Director had to say about the exchange of gunfire.
The officers did return fire. The subject is deceased on the scene. I had the opportunity to speak with the officers, and they are in good spirits, and they are in stable condition. Once again, I'm thankful that they're here with us, and they'll be able to go home and spend time with their family.
Director Daniel saying it's by the grace of God that these 2 officers who were shot are alive this morning. At this point, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement will take over the investigation. That's what happens anytime an officer fires a weapon. Reporting live at Jackson South, Julia Bagg, NBC6 News.
Julia, thank you. Of course, stay with NBC6 all morning long as we continue to follow the latest developments. For the latest on the officers' conditions this morning, you can go to our website at NBC6.com or check out our our NBC6 app.
All right, 6:34 is your time, and we have another breaking story. This one out of Pembroke Park. Take a look. You see the T, that T shape right there on your screen. Now look at the left side in that little corner. We're going to zoom in to give you a better look, but what happened here is a car caught on fire at this gas station, and it's a live look from Chopper 6. This is the aftermath right in Pembroke Park along Hallandale Beach Boulevard, and as we zoom on in, you can see that fire suppression foam that they sprayed all over to try and get that fire put out. The good news is it looks like the fire is under control. We have no word on any injuries or any other information from police at this time, and it looks like the roadways are open, but police are still actively there on the scene. We'll keep watching this story and bring you updates throughout the morning right here on NBC6.